We talk about AI all the time as this tool we need to manage or control. But what if that's completely the wrong way to look at it? What if instead we saw it as a grand adventure, a wild new territory that we can learn to navigate with real confidence, and maybe even a sense of wonder? Let's explore that idea together.
So what if we took that classic Tarzan line and just flipped it on its head? Picture this. The AI is the native intelligence of this new digital jungle. It's incredibly powerful, hyper-capable, but it doesn't automatically get our world. And we're Jane. We're the curious explorers learning to swing through this brand new environment without losing a bit of our humanity. Just that simple shift changes everything. It frames our whole approach as one of discovery, not just giving commands.
And this move from instruction to discovery is really the core of the new mindset we're all going to need. I mean, interacting with superintelligence. And by that, I mean AI systems that can outthink humans at basically any cognitive task. It's not like getting a faster calculator. Not at all. It's like stepping into a vast, uncharted jungle for the very first time. And to thrive there, we have to stop thinking like programmers and start thinking like explorers.
This really gets at the heart of it, the difference between a calculator mindset and a djinn mindset. The old way was simple. You gave precise instructions to a dumb tool. But the new way? It's a lot more like negotiating with a powerful, unpredictable djinn from old stories. Every single wish, every prompt, has to be worded so carefully. And what protects you isn't trying to outsmart it, but building a relationship on a foundation of trust, transparency, and a shared story.
So, okay, how do we actually do that? Every good explorer needs a toolkit, right? And ours is going to have 3 essential survival skills. These are the real, practical techniques that'll keep us grounded, clear-headed, and in control as we find our way through this new terrain. So let's open up the toolkit and see what we've got. First up is something called the pause protocol. Superintelligence moves at a mind-bending speed, and that speed can almost be hypnotic. Our single greatest source of power is the deliberate pause. So when you get an output, just, step 1, notice your immediate gut reaction. Then, step 2, take one single slow breath. That's it. This creates just enough space for step 3, reframe the situation and ask a critical question. That simple act reclaims your control from the sheer velocity of the machine.
Okay, next in our toolkit is the clarity checklist. With an intelligence this powerful, being polite matters way less than being precise. Vague requests are just asking for trouble. This checklist forces you to get crystal clear. What's your actual goal? What's the context here? What are the absolute rules? Providing this kind of detail isn't about being bossy. It's about being an effective partner.
And our final tool is the boundary ladder. I love this one. It's basically your personal framework for managing risk. The top rung? That holds your non-negotiables, the big decisions about your integrity or key relationships that you will never hand over. The middle is for flexible collaboration, where you'll take suggestions. And the bottom rung? That's your sandbox. That's the safe zone for pure exploration and play.
Now, having these tools is one thing, but using them means we have to face one of the biggest challenges in the entire AI jungle, resisting the urge to just be totally mesmerized by what it can do. It's a phenomenon we can call Dazzle syndrome. Dazzle syndrome is that feeling of pure awe you get when an AI spits out a perfect, comprehensive plan in 2 seconds flat. You're so wowed by the speed and how well it's written that your own critical judgment can just switch off. You get swept away. It's a subtle form of manipulation, even if it's not intentional, and it's exactly where we risk losing our footing.
But here's the good news. This quote right here nails the antidote. Those 2 core tools from our Explorer's Kit are your absolute best defense against Dazzle syndrome. The second you feel that wave of awe wash over you, that's your cue. Apply the pause protocol. Then use the clarity checklist to ground the entire interaction in what you actually want. It's such a powerful combination.
So, we have our external tools, but a good explorer knows that a compass is every bit as important as a map, and our internal guide, that's the human compass. These are the core strengths that just can't be outcomputed. They're the things that keep us oriented when the whole technological landscape starts to get confusing.
I love this story because it is so relatable. Do you remember writing papers with stacks of note cards all over the floor? The really hard work wasn't the typing or the formatting. That's the doingness. It was sitting there with all those scattered pieces of information and synthesizing them into one coherent whole. That's the beingness. That moment of synthesis, of seeing the connections nobody else saw, that is a uniquely human act. The AI can do the mechanics, but the synthesis, that's all ours.
And that really brings us to our core human edge.
AI can process information, but we have discernment, the ability to make wise judgments. It can optimize for a goal, but we have values, the moral framework that guides our choices. It can generate text or images, but we have true creativity, that spark of originality that comes from our own lived experiences. We are the story makers and the synthesizers. This is our internal compass. When we're lost in the dazzle, these are the true north points we navigate by.
So let's bring all of this together. The final act of our journey as explorers is to take these tools and these insights and to create a tangible map, a personal constitution really, that will guide all of our future explorations in the AI jungle.
This is what we call your personal AI charter. And I want you to think of it as a living document, a declaration of your own digital sovereignty. It's where you make your toolkit official. It's not a contract with the tech. It's a commitment to yourself about how you're going to show up, clear, and in control.
Okay, the first part is the foundation, your core values. Before you even engage, you define what matters most to you. Is it curiosity, fairness, creativity? By just writing these down, you create an anchor. Every single interaction can then be measured against them. You can ask, does this serve my values? For example, if creativity is a core value, you might decide to use AI to brainstorm, but never to do the actual writing for you.
Next, you make the top rung of your boundary ladder official. What are your absolute non-negotiables? This is where you draw clear, bright lines in the sand. You state, explicitly, which parts of your life and your work are completely off-limits for AI decision-making. This isn't about being paranoid, it's about personal integrity.
And finally, you commit to action. You make a real promise to yourself that you're actually going to use these tools. I will apply the pause protocol when I feel dazzled. I will use the clarity checklist for important tasks. This step is what transforms these abstract ideas into a concrete, personal practice.
The jungle of superintelligence isn't some distant future anymore. It's here. We can either be overwhelmed by it, or we can become confident, curious explorers. With the right mindset, the right tools, and a clear personal map, we are more than ready. So the only question left is, are you ready to start exploring?